My name is C.H. Shankar, lecturer in zoology, Government Degree College for Women, Karimnagar. So, today we discuss about forces of evolution. The forces that brings changes in the gene pool of populations are called evolutionary forces. So, the evolutionary forces can change the gene frequency, or they can change the in gene pool. They can change the gene pool of populations that leads to evolution. So, they include mutations, gene flow, genetic drift, and natural selection. They are include. So, here what are they? So, first the forces of evolution: mutations, gene flow, and genetic drift, natural selection, and one more topic, one more is there, that is reproductive isolation. So, these are the different forces to participate in the evolution. So, first one is mutations. Sudden changes is called mutations. Sudden changes in DNA is called mutations. Sudden changes in DNA is called mutations. So, in this two types of mutations are there. First gene mutations, and second one is chromosomal mutations. Two types of mutations are there. First one is gene mutations, second one is chromosomal mutations. So, the mutations takes place in the genes, those are called gene mutations. The mutations occurred at gene level, those are called gene mutations. The mutation occurred at chromosomal level, those are called chromosomal mutations. Here the gene mutations and chromosomal, two types of mutations are there. So, first one is additions. Addition of particular chromosome part to next chromosome part, that is called addition. So, by the addition, especially the mutations are takes place. If these mutations are very useful to the organism, those mutations are present in the next generations and transmits to the next generation, generation to generation. They may transmit to generation to generation. So, that is called gene mutations. And second one is deletions. So, last part of chromosome is called deletion. So, by these deletions some genes are loosed. So, this character is useful to the organism. So, that leads to evolution. And duplication, nothing but doubling of genes, those are called duplications. And translocations, and one chromosome part removed from the chromosome and add to the another chromosome. So, that is called translocations. So, inversions, reversely arrangement of genes is called inversions. Okay. So, these are called gene mutations. It is also called point mutations. It is also called point mutations. Second one is chromosomal mutations. The mutations takes place in the chromosomes, those are called chromosomal mutations. Here a haploid condition, diploid condition, polyploid condition, these type of conditions are there. The single set of chromosomes present in the organisms, that is called haploid condition, especially this condition present in the some algae. And diploid condition, most plants and animals having diploid condition. And polyploid, some especially graminea family plants, these are having polyploid conditions. So, these conditions are very useful to some organisms. So, the polyploid condition present in the graminea, especially Oryza sativa and wheat. Okay. So, this is about chromosomal mutations. And one more thing here, the loss of one chromosome. So, in chromosomal mutations, so monosomic and nullisomic. Okay. So, loss of one chromosome, that is called monosomy, especially in Turner syndrome 45 chromosomes are there, one chromosome lost in female. Okay. So, that leads to some disorders. You have to study about underdevelopment reproductive system, and there is no formation of breast and broad chest and webbed neck. These are the characters of Turner syndrome. And trisomy, one chromosome doubled, For example, triple condition. For example, um, in human beings, Klinefelter syndrome. So, XXY, this is called Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome. So, these if these type of situations are very useful to the organisms, especially those are selected in the next generation. Maximum chromosomal mutations are they are large. They have to develop large variations. That is the reason why these chromosomal mutations are very harmful to the organisms. Which mutations are very useful to the organisms, that is called gene mutations. So, the changes are occurred at small level, the variations are occurred at small level, and most gene mutations are in a recessive condition. recessive condition. So, that may be very useful to the organisms. So, whenever it is necessary, so then only whenever these are very useful to that character transmit to next generation, and generation after generation it can transmit. So, this is about the mutations. Actually, the mutations are very important. The mutations play a key role in the evolution. The mutations. So, what changes takes place in the organisms, that must and should change in the genetic material. So, here the mutations takes place at DNA or some viruses, some RNA viruses, for example, coronavirus. So, whenever the coronavirus discovered in Wuhan, from Wuhan to it is reaches to the total, it is a pandemic, it reaches to the, throughout the world. So, now nearly 200 types of variety coronavirus are we are identified. 200 types of coronaviruses are we are identified. So, although the mutations are very useful to the organism, the organisms can survive. Okay. So, the mutations occurred at gene level, the mutations are occurred in DNA, the mutations are occurred also in some RNA as genetic material organisms. Okay. So, this is about mutations. And second one is gene flow. Okay. So, generally gene flow is nothing but the community having a group of genes, that is called gene flow. So, here so the in the community the gene flow is takes place, the movement of genes nothing but here. So, whenever the genes are present in the parental generation, these genes are transmits to next generation. So, gene flow is going on. So, the gene flow rate can change according to migrations, immigration and immigration. So, immigration and immigration, here the movement of alleles from one population to other is called gene flow. The movement of alleles from one population to another is called gene flow. The random introduction of alleles into the recipient population, that is called immigration, and their removal from the donor population, that is called emigration. So, effect of allelic frequency on both populations. So, here in the gene flow, the effect of allelic frequency of both populations. Gene flow brings about an addition or loss of genes from in the gene pool. Okay, the movement of alleles from one population to another population is called gene flow. Okay, here we have to identify gene frequency and genotype frequency. So, the frequency means occurrence of genes, the presence of genes in the population, that is called nothing but gene frequency, and genotype frequency. These are two terms very useful to in the evolution and how the new genes are, how the new organisms are formed. Okay. And next one is genetic drift. Genetic drift, the change in the frequency of gene that occurs merely by chance, and not by selection. So, here the change in the frequency of the gene that occurs merely by chance and not by selection. Here by chance the genotype frequency is changed, gene frequency is changed. So, in small populations is called genetic drift or Sievelreit effect. So, in small populations that is called genetic drift or Sievelreit effect. Suppose for a gene with the two alleles, the frequency of particular allele is 1%, that is q equal to 0.01. The probability of losing that alleles by chance from small population is more. For example, in 100 human beings are there, in that human beings a particular small short human being one is there. So, he may have small and he was short and the rest of all tall. That person having short gene, so he may die before going to reproductive stage. So, the short gene are lost. In that place the total all tall genes are present as like here. So, the probability of reaching end point depends on the size of the population. Genetic drift tends to reduce the amount of genetic variation within the population. So, mainly removing the alleles with low frequency. So, it can be exemplified by Fonder's effect and Bottleneck effect. Fonder's effect and Bottleneck effect. So, here generally the genetic drift in p plus q equal to 1. P plus q equal to 1. So, p is the dominant allele frequency and q is the recessive allele frequency. Q is the recessive allele frequency. So, first here we have to discuss about Founder's effect. If a small group of individuals from a population start a new colony in an isolated region. If a small group of individuals from a population start a new colony in an isolated region, those individuals are called founders of the new population. Suddenly, a group of people migrated from a mother population to and occupied a new ecological niche. So, those are called founders. So, after it takes after million years or some years, so they have to some change with their parental population. So, that is called founders effect. For example, in red Indians, the red Indians only O blood group, O positive blood group is present. So, it means the forefather of red Indians tribe were predominantly O positive. They isolated themselves reproductively from other populations. So, generally by chance the O positive group of people separating from parental population. So, the migrated people only having O positive. So, that is the reason why the total red Indian population having only O positive blood group. So, the by chance the O positive population making a founders, they are the founders. And second one is bottleneck effects. So, natural calamities such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and floods etc., reduce the size of the population drastically. So, whenever the natural calamities are going on, so generally the populations are reduced. So, after these calamities, the lucky survivors may be genetically different from original population in their genetic makeup. So, whenever the natural calamities are going on, few organisms can survive, the rest of all undergo die. So, after sometimes the surviving populations having some change genetically by their forefathers, or ancestors. So, this condition is as the bottleneck effect. This condition is called a bottleneck effect. So, this type of situation we can see the polydactyly dwarf individuals in the old Arthur Amish population of Lancaster in USA. So, the polydactyly dwarf individuals. Polydactyly means the addition of fingers. Okay, so the Amish other population having this type of situation. So, this is about bottleneck effect. By the natural calamity, they are selected by the nature. They are selected by the nature. Next one, natural selection. So, this theory proposed by especially Charles Darwin. So, the first three, gene flow and genetic drift and mutations, these all are takes place whenever in the gene, or the changes are takes place in the gene. So, whether that changed character is useful to the organism or not. If the character is very useful to the organism in changing environment, that character is accumulated in the organisms, that character transmits to the those offsprings, and that character transmit to generation after generation. So, here the nature is selected that particular character. So, that is called a natural selection. So, what are the changes takes place in the organism, that organisms are selected by the nature, nothing but that is called natural selection. So, it is mainly three types, they are directional selection, stabilizing selection and disruptive selection. So, directional selection, stabilizing selection and disruptive selection. This selection operate in response to gradual changes in the environmental condition. It works by constantly removing individual from one end of the phenotypic distribution. So, here in the evolution takes place one direction, The evolution takes place in one direction, the other direction there is no, the destruction is takes place. So, therefore, the average value of fitness is constantly shifting towards the other end of the phenotypic distribution. Directional selection tend to favor phenotype at one extreme range of variation. Here nothing but, so the which character is present newly changed organisms. If that character is selected, so that type of populations are present. For example, the resistance of insects to DDT. So, whenever the second world war is going on, we are spraying dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane, that is nothing but DDT. So, the few insects can tolerate the DDT. Some insects can resistant to the DDT. Those insects can survive. The rest of all populations are undergo die, and the resisted populations are increased. They can occupy the rest of all ecological niches. Now, the DDT gamaxine resistant to the most mosquitoes and most insects, most insects. Nowadays, we are not using. So, in place of DDT and gamaxine, we have to use what is foams and coils and different we are using. Okay, mosquito coils like. Okay, this is about resistance of insects to DDT. So, in this the direction is in one direction, evolution is going on. So, which organisms can tolerate the DDT, they can survive. Which organisms are unable to tolerate the DDT, they may undergo die. So, this is about resistance to DDT. And one more thing, the elongation of neck of the giraffe. Actually, giraffes are originating from short neck deer like organisms. So, whenever in the environment some drought is going on, there is no proper rainfall, the grasslands are reduced, there is no grass. So, the small bushes which can tolerate the arid conditions, those are survive. So, these deer like organisms are try to capture these leaves on the bushes. In that in that time, so they have to enlarge a neck and forelimbs and try to encroachment on the plant. So here, so the this type of situation takes place few years. So from the short neck deers to long neck giraffes are produced. So here the neck direction is the evolution, the neck direction. The evolution is takes place the elongation of neck. So the direction of evolution is elongation of the neck. So this is about and what is directional selection. And one more thing, industrial melanism, it is one more example. So best example performed by Bernard Kettlewell. So in the early 19th century and mid 18th century. So generally he was selecting peppered moth, Biston betullaria. It is a moth which lives in the Great Britain, England. So he was conducting experiment on he was selecting two areas, one industrial area that is called Birmingham, another countryside that is a local rural area that is Dorset. Okay. So in Biston betullaria two types of moths are there, non-melanic form and melanic form, So the melanic forms more number was observed in Birmingham, less number observed in Dorset, and non-melanic form. So less number observed in Birmingham and more number observed in countryside. So here the whenever the industrialization is takes place, the coal burning is takes place and smoke etc. are coming released into the environment. The plant barks are turned into black. So in that area, the melanic forms are mimicry. They are not able to see by the predators. So the melanic moths are protecting from predators. So in that Birmingham, so non-melanic forms easily saw by the predators and captured by the predators. So here in Birmingham, black melanic forms are selected. In Dorset, it is a countryside. So there is no industrial pollution, it is pure air. So that is the reason why the non-melanic forms are unable to see, and the melanic forms are easily see by the predators, saw by the predators and captured. So, in that non melanic and in Dorset region, he was captured more number of non melanic forms, and in Birmingham, so he was captured by more number of melanic forms. So, here the two sites are changed, but in one site one character is selected, in another site another character is selected. So, this is about what is a directional selection and stabilizing selection. So, at the end of the populations, the few disabled organisms are undergo die. So, here, so this selection operates the stable environment. This process extreme individuals from the two ends of the phenotypic distribution are eliminated. This process extreme individuals from two ends of the phenotypic distribution is eliminated here. So, in England, so the babies which one having average weight, that is 8 pounds. So, overweight babies and lesser weight babies may die. The average babies can the mortality rate is, there is no mortality rate. So, in England, the weights of babies is large sample were taken. It was found greater mortality in babies when the weight was greater or lesser than average weight, that is 8 pounds. So, here the stabilization of the population is takes place, the stabilization species stabilization is takes place. In this stabilizing selection, there is no evolution, but the stabling the population or the stabling the species here takes place. It improves the deleters genotype from the population, for which reproductive success is 0. Reproductive success is 0. The proportion of the reproductively fertile offspring produced a genotype relative to the other genotype is reproductive success. A proportion of reproductive fertile offspring produced a genotype related to the other genotype is reproductive success. Here, so generally the dead organisms may not transmit their genes into next generation. The live organisms are can transmit their genes into next generation here, that is only. So, that is about stabilizing selection. And the third one is disruptive selection, here centrifugal selection. So, here it is a rare form of selection, but very important in bringing about evolutionary change. So, it is a rare form of selection. This type of selection rarely takes place in the nature, but very important in bringing about evolutionary change. This process operates in the changing conditions within an environment, heterogeneous environment. Heterogeneous environment increases the competition in the population. The increased competition leads to selection pressure. The increased population leads to selection pressure. This selection pressure removes the average of the phenotypic distribution in population. Hence, the phenotype move away from the average towards the end of the population distribution. Here in this disruptive distribution, so one population divided into two according to environmental changes. In USA, in California, the sunflower population was divided into two subpopulations. One subpopulation is adapted to dry area and the other was adapted to wet area over a period of 12 years. So, by the changing of the river flow, so one land convert into dry and wetland convert into dry land convert into wet and wetland convert into dry. So, in California, so the one land divided into wetland and dry land. Here the sunflower populations are divided into two subpopulations. These actually this is a dry land sunflower. So, whenever the river moves in this area, so that land convert into wetland. So, although the sunflower adjusts to the wetland adjusts to the wetland. So, here one population divided into two populations. So, this is called centrifugal selection. And one more thing here in America, the Athorn maggots are there. Athorn maggots. These maggots are living in a special plants. After industrialization, some migratory people implant the apple plants in the America. apple plants in the America. So, some athorn maggots are inhabit in apple plants. They have to adapt to the that apple plants. They can survive on the apple plants. Here that population is divided into two: apple maggots newly formed on the apple plants, hawthorn maggots, the descendant plants, the earlier plants. These are habitat on the earlier plants. So, one population divided into two. Same like here also the California sunflower population divided into two subpopulations. So, this is about disruptive selection, and here we have to remember it. Selections are K selection and R selection. Two types of selections are there in nature. Selection in a population at or near carrying capacity of a habitat is K selection. In K selection, it has ecological carrying capacity. The carrying capacity near to uh, the selection is near to the ecological carrying capacity. Theoretically, it is a selection for improved competitive ability rather than rapid numerical increase. Okay. So, it is greater than R selection selection. So, these two selections are very important. So, for K selection, so the population size is very low and the organism size is increased, but about in R selection, so the population size is very large, but the organism size is very low. So, these R selection species particularly present in a favorable conditions only. The R selection population is large size in favorable conditions and small in size unfavorable conditions. Especially R selection species are insect species and K selection species are vertebrates and birds and higher chordates. So, this is about and disruptive selection, and this is about natural selection. And next one is Hardy-Weinberg law. So, this Hardy-Weinberg law proposed by Hardy and Weinberg. So, this Hardy-Weinberg law it was proposed in 1908. So, works in large population. So, here so the Hardy-Weinberg law works in large population, and one more thing here. So, there is no selection mating. Here random mating is going on in large populations. Here the stabilizes the genes. The Hardy-Weinberg law is very suitable to the newly formed species. It is very suitable to the newly formed species. Okay. Hardy-Weinberg law was proposed by Hardy-Weinberg in 1908. It states that gene frequency of various genes of a population remain constant generation after generation. When the population is large, mating is at random, and in the absence of mutations, selection and migrations. So, in the absence of mutations, selections and migrations, the population is stable. When the gene frequency remains constant generation after generation, the population is in genetic equilibrium or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, genetic equilibrium or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So, here and we have to observe this P plus Q equal to 1, P plus Q equal to 1. Here the P is equal to and so evolution occurs only when the Hardy-Weinberg law is altered. Whenever the evolution is occurred, the Hardy-Weinberg law was altered. The Hardy-Weinberg law is represented by the simple formula P plus Q equal to 1, P plus Q equal to 1. So, P equal to frequency of dominant gene and Q equal to frequency of recessive gene. This formula is used to find out the frequency of dominant gene and recessive gene in a population. The frequency of heterozygous and homozygous in a population can be calculated by another Hardy-Weinberg formula, that is P plus Q whole square equal to P square plus 2PQ plus Q square. Okay. P is equal to frequency of dominant gene, Q is equal to frequency of recessive gene, and P square equal to frequency of dominant homozygote, 2PQ is equal to frequency of heterozygote, Q square equal to frequency of recessive homozygote. Okay, this is about two formulas are there, p plus q equal to 1 and p plus q whole square equal to p square plus 2pq plus q square. Hardy-Weinberg law lays a foundation for the study of population genetics. It gives a mathematical approach for genetics and evolution. Okay. Significance of the Weinberg law, Hardy-Weinberg law. This law states that gene frequencies in a large population remain constant generation after generation when the mating is at random and there is no selection and mutation. In a small population, this equilibrium cannot be maintained. In a small population, so this type of equilibrium cannot be maintained. When the population is in equilibrium, there is no possibility for evolutionary change and hence the rate of evolution is 0. When the population is in equilibrium, there is no possibility for evolutionary change, hence the rate of evolution is 0. Evolution occurs only when this equilibrium is upset and altered. So, whenever this equilibrium is altered, p plus q equal to 1, p plus p is equal to p frequency is 0.5, q frequency is 0.5 is equal to 1. So, in 1000 population, 100 populations having dominant genes, 500 populations having dominant genes, 500 populations recessive genes. So, there is no evolution. So, the equilibrium is determined and prevent evolutionary progress. Okay, the equilibrium detrimental and it prevents evolutionary progress. The equilibrium tends to conserve gains characters, so that have been made in the past and to prevent the rapid changes. The equilibrium keeps a store of recessive genes continuously in existence in a population. The equilibrium maintains heterozygous in the population. So, this equilibrium can maintain the heterozygous in the population. So, simply we have to remember it about Hardy-Weinberg law. It is works in large populations. In that population, random mating takes place. In that population, there is no mutations, there is no migration, there is no selection. Okay. So, the Hardy-Weinberg law can maintain a species. So, application of Hardy-Weinberg law: calculation of frequency of recessive and dominant genes in a population, calculation of heterozygous population. So, let us assume a hamster population containing 1000 individuals. Of these 300 individuals are gray with recessive genes, small m. The remaining 700 individuals are black. The black individuals may be homozygous dominant capital M or heterozygous capital M small m. The two types of black individuals cannot determine externally. So, the black individuals may homozygous dominant capital M, sorry, here small m is there, capital M and heterozygous is capital M small m. The two types of black individuals cannot be identified externally. So, which is heterozygous black and which is homozygous black. By applying Hardy-Weinberg formula, the frequency of M and M genes can be calculated. Similarly, the frequency of heterozygous individuals can be calculated as okay. So, the total population is 1000, gray small m is 300, frequency of gray 300 by 1000 equal to 0.03, frequency of black 700 by 1000. So, total here the frequency of gray is total here 3 members are gray population is there, 300 by 1000, that is total population. So, equal to 0.3. Okay. And frequency of black equal to 700 by black is 700 populations in the given here. So, 700 by 1000. So, that is equal to 0.7. Let the frequency of M gene is P, the frequency of small m gene is Q. Let the frequency of capital M gene is P, the frequency of small m gene is Q. Apply the Hardy-Weinberg formula. So, what is p plus q whole square equal to p square plus 2pq plus q square. So, here, so the p frequency is there, the q frequency is there, the frequency of p is equal to 0.7 and frequency of q is equal to 0.3. Here we have to apply p square equal to what is 0.7 square plus 2 into 0.7 into 0.3. Here the 0.7 is p, 0.3 is q plus q square equal to 0.3 whole square. So, how here 7 into 7 49, 0.49 into plus 2 into 0.7 into 0.3, 2 into 0.21 plus here the q square equal to 3 whole square here and 0.9 3 square equal to nothing but 9. So, here what is 0.49 plus 2 into 0.21 equal to here 0.42 plus 0.09. So, it calculated to at 100. So, 0.49 is equal to 49%, that is capital M and capital M individuals, that is nothing but homozygous dominant, and 42% capital M small m, that is individuals of heterozygous, and 9% small m, those are called individuals, small homozygous recessive individuals. The frequency of so the frequency of heterozygous zygote in the population is 42%. The 42% of heterozygous frequency is present and 49% homozygous frequency is present. So, we have to identify. So, we have to apply these principle to p plus q equal to 1. Here 49% 49% means 419,000. 490 capital M individuals contains 980 capital M genes, 980 capital M genes, and in 420 one capital M is there. So, that is in 420. So, in heterozygous how much capital M small m the genotype. So, in heterozygous capital M 420 alleles are there, capital M 420 alleles are there. That is the reason why we have to add capital M all genes. 980 plus 420 is equal to total M genes are 1400. Total M genes are 1400. Okay, here the frequency of M gene P equal to 1400 by 2000. 1400 by 2000. So, that is equal to 0.7. So, the dominant alleles are allele frequency is 0.7. The 90 individuals, 9% is nothing but 90 in 1000. Okay, 90 small m individuals contains 180 small m genes. In 420 capital M here how many small m 420 genes are there? 420 plus 180 is equal to 600. So, the total small m genes are 600. The frequency of m equal to the small frequency of small m gene q equal to 600 by 2000, that is 0.3 here. So, the p frequency is 0.7, the q frequency is 0.3. So, here the p plus q is equal to 1. So, here 0.7 plus 0.3 is equal to 1. Sometimes, so in genetic drift, for example, in 2000 alleles 600 recessive alleles are there. Suddenly 600 less recessive means 300 organisms. If suddenly these organisms are may not select by the nature, these are all are die. These all are die. So, only the grey populations will die and the black population will select. The black population will select. Here capital M. So, that is nothing but black population. Okay. So, here the nature selects. So, which character is useful to the organism, then only they can select, otherwise it may not select, So, this is about Hardy-Weinberg law. Here these are the different forces, and one more thing here we have to discuss about isolation, reproductive isolation. So, by any factor, by the acting of any factor, the group of people separated and not participate in the reproduction mating. So, to prevent the mating of same species, that is called nothing but isolation. Isolation. So, in that isolation, number of the isolating the mechanism is a barrier which prevents the interbreeding between populations. Isolating mechanism, isolation is a barrier which prevent interbreeding between the populations. Okay. So, the term isolation mechanism was first coined by Dobzhansky in 1937. Dobzhansky in 1937. So, the isolation is two types, especially geographical isolation and reproductive isolation. So, the isolating mechanism are broadly two types, geographical isolation and reproductive isolation. So, first geographical isolation, it is geographical barrier which prevents interbreeding between population. It is a geographical barrier which prevents interbreeding between population. The populations occupying two different localities are separated by geographical barriers like mountains, land mass, water mass, forest, deserts, etc. Here, by the geographical barriers, the one group of population divided into two. So, by the distance, they may not interbreed with each other. So, after million years takes place, so this population treated as a subspecies, two subspecies, and some more million years takes place, the two subspecies divided into two species. So, this is about geographical isolation. And reproductive isolation, the term was coined by Mayer. In reproductive isolation, the gene exchange between populations is prevented because of genotypically conditioned differences between the population. So, the organisms are inhabited in a particular ecological niche, although by the genetical differences they may not interbreed. So, this is called reproductive isolation. By the reproductive isolation, the populations are inhabited in a one field, although they may not interbreed. So, this is reproductive isolation. So, after some years, these two populations treated as a new species. So, these are the forces of evolution. So, first one is mutations, sudden changes in DNA called mutations, and gene flow. So, the allelic flow in the population, that is called gene flow, and genetic drift and natural selection. So, in genetic drift, Fonders effect and bottleneck effectors are there. By the Fonders effect, example, that is O positive population in California populations, and bottleneck Amish Arthur Janaba, polydactylic dwarf. Next, natural selection by the nature. So, three types of natural selections are there. So, directional selection, stabilizing selection, and disruptive selection. For directional selection, for resistance to DDT of insects, and for formation of necks in the giraffes, and industrial melanism. So, selection of peppered moth insects in two different areas. And stabilizing selections, it is a stabilizer selection and occurs in populations of 8 pounds babies in mortality rate in 8 pound babies in England. The over and lesser weight babies are die, the average weight babies may gain. Okay. And disruptive selection. So, this type of selection present in the especially one population divided into two groups by habitat change especially. For example, so in California, sunflower populations are divided into two groups, one was adapted to wetlands and one was adapted to dry land. And in America, so hawthorn maggots are inhabited to newly implanted apple maggots. So, these maggots are earlier the hawthorn maggots are there whenever the apple plants are implanted. So, the hawthorn maggots changed into adapt to the apple plants. So, two types of populations are formed. So, some changes are takes place in the apple maggot. So, here these are the treated as a subspecies apple maggot and Athor maggots. So, this is about disruptive selection, and one more thing here, here reproductive isolation. The any factor may not any factor prevent interbreeding, that is called reproductive isolation. It play a key role in the formation of evolution. So, geographical isolation and reproductive isolation, two types of isolations are there. So, this is about what is forces of evolution. Shall we stop here?